All right, so let's begin this webinar. Okay. Hello and a warm good afternoon to one and all. Welcome to another episode of Entab CampusCare EdTalks, an exclusive platform where we have pioneers from the education industry to share their years of experience and insights with us. But before moving forward, let me introduce you to Entab. With experience of 21 years, Entab has been associated with over 1,500 schools spread across India, evolving them to become new age digital campuses by providing them mature and futuristic ERP, CRM, and mobile apps. In today's session, we'll discuss about the importance of believing in a role model. We'll discuss the impact of a role model on a student, and we'll also understand how he or she approaches life if he or she believes in a positive or a negative role model. So, to discuss the same, we have a beautiful, lovely.
Shivani, is there any connectivity problem? Is there?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Am I audible to everyone, right? Okay.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay, great.
Oh, I am getting some.
Okay, so I'll just move. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so I was saying, so to discuss the same, we have lovely educators from different schools from Pan India, and now it's time to welcome all of them. So please welcome Mr. Santosh K, Principal of Subhai Central School, Tirupur, Tamil Nadu. Sir is an excellent coach and a competent educator with over 30 years of experience with renowned institutions. Have won several awards including Changemaker Award for Principals for bringing digital transformation of education by Microsoft in August 2021. So welcome to the show, Santosh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Megha. Thank you. Pleasure being here.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, we have Mr. A.G. Prakash Nair, Principal of Nanda Central City School, Tamil Nadu. Sir has dedicated experience of over 20 years, have managed to achieve more than 20 awards for his excellence as an educator, including Bold Outlook Learner Teacher Award by Singapore Airlines, Leading School Scholarship Award from IIM Calicut, and the list goes on. So welcome to the show, Prakash sir. Yes, sir, आप mute पे हैं.
Thank you, Miss Shivani. Thank you very much.
Megha,
Please proceed.
Thank you so much, sir. Megha this side. Okay. Next up, we have Miss Rekha Naidu, Principal Manan Vidya Manrakhan Mahatro School, Ranchi. Ma'am is an outstanding mentor to her students with 14 years of experience. Ma'am's vision is to prepare global citizens, inspire them, and work towards the holistic development with her lifelong love of learning. So welcome, Rekha ma'am.
Thank you, Megha. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Mrs. Sushma, Teen Academics and Senior Faculty Accounts in ISC, Unison World School, Dehradun. Ma'am is a result-oriented professional with 24 years of extensively rich experience in teaching, curriculum development, counseling, including 14 years of experience as a general administration. Ma'am has been acknowledged with the letter of appreciation twice in 2014 and 2015 by the Ministry of HRD, Government of India. Welcome, Sushma ma'am.
Thank you so much, Megha, inviting here, and looking forward for have a fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Next, we would love to welcome Ms. Harshwardhan Singh, Founder and Director, Sh.P.S.M Public School, Himachal Pradesh. Sir is a social pioneer. His journey began when he resigned from the position of a government teacher and started his own school in the memory of his respected grandfather at the age of 24. Since then, Sir has been providing education to 25% children of his school without any government support and has taken his school to the heights of success. So, welcome, Harshwardhan, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then we have Mrs. Shivani Tripathi, Headmistress, St. Teresa School, Indrapuram, Ghaziabad. Ma'am is an accomplished visionary leader since 2 decades with countless contributions to improve academic performance by providing comprehensive support to the school management. Ma'am is also on the board of directors of Project Change International, a youth-led Liberia and US-based organization, and co-founder of Fluvia the Idea. So, welcome so much, Shivani ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shivani.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, Megha this side. Okay. So, before starting, I would just... Yes, ma'am, you were saying something?
Sorry for that.
No worries, ma'am. Okay. So I was saying, like, before starting, I would like to remind all to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for such interesting and knowledgeable sessions. Okay. So now we can start with it. So we can go with Shivani ma'am. So ma'am, as educators, I believe you all are aware of the significance of believing in a role model. So ma'am, how can we make sure the role model students choose to believe in will help them in excelling in their academics? So ma'am, what is your take on this?
Right. So role models, as we talk about role models, there are two things. We talk about role model and we talk about mentors as well in schools. So, there is a slight difference between the two, I believe, that, leading by example. When you lead by example, you become a role model to a child or whoever. Not only a child, I think, in this long journey of mine, whatever, I have had a number of role models as well. So it is definitely important. Now, when we choose the head boy and head girl of the school, or we choose the student council, there is a long process that we undergo when we do this. And why is it so? What are we searching in them? We are obviously searching in them what the other children can follow. They become role models because they have to lead by example. So when you lead by example, you become a role model to the rest. So, keeping that in mind, so, when we talk about the value system and the character building in school, when we work on that, then we come out with a number of role models within the school system. And also one little thing I would like to add, what children do, they imitate, they look up to somebody. This is how the children learn. They imitate, and they want to follow those values which they see. So they start with generally their parents. And then as they get exposed to the school, then it is the teachers, whoever comes in contact with them. Right? That is how it actually begins and starts.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right, absolutely, ma'am. And ma'am, one more thing, like I feel that there's a difference in believing in a role model and the obsession thing. Like nowadays, the students, the children, they have their role models as a movie actor or an actress, and like they are like obsessed, like they want to follow each and everything what they are following. So I think the children should know the difference between like believing or following a role model and an obsession that they're having. Okay. So next we would love to hear Harshwardhan sir. Yes.
हाँ, एक्चुअली मैम के जो मैम ने इस चीज के बारे में बताया, मैं उनके साथ टोटली एग्री हूँ कि ये सारी चीजें एक किसी भी रोल मॉडल को जिसको भी हम बनाते हैं उसमें हमें चीजें फोकस करनी चाहिए, देखनी चाहिए। उसके ठीक तुरंत बाद आपने भी जब कहा कि जो एक्टर्स हैं या और भी जो लोग हैं उनको फॉलो करने में हमारे जो बच्चे हैं, ये जो यंग जनरेशन है, उनको फॉलो करना स्टार्ट कर देती है। तो हमें कहीं ना कहीं एक चीज ये भी ध्यान रखनी होगी इसमें कि जब भी हम गलत विचारों से, गलत आइडियाज से किसी को हम प्रसिद्धि दिलाते हैं और उसे आदर्श के रूप में हम लोग प्रस्तुत करते हैं लोगों के सामने, तो और उसके गले में हम लोग हार भी डालते रहते हैं कि आप लोग बहुत अच्छे हैं, आप लोग रोल मॉडल्स हैं और आप सब लोगों को जो है लोगों के लिए आइडियल बन सकते हैं, उनके लिए रोल मॉडल बन सकते हैं। लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं एक चीज भी ये भी ध्यान रखनी होगी कि एक गलत आदमी को अगर हमने कहीं रोल मॉडल के रूप में तौर पे प्रेजेंट कर दिया तो आप बाकी को भी जो है गलत करने के लिए जो है प्रेरित कर रहे हैं। ये इसमें मैं ऐड करना चाहूँ।
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. So, हमें like बहुत carefully we should choose our role models, basically, right? So
Right.
next, thank you so much. And so next, Prakash sir, according to you, what qualities should a positive role model possess for a child to do better in life and work hard towards uncovering their true inner potentials? Yes, Prakash sir.
Wonderful. First of all, I appreciate Entab for giving me a chance to speak on a very wonderful topic today. And role models, we can say that it depends. For example, Megha is a role model for me. The reason I can say that the kind of energy that you have, the kind of body language that you are there speaking, everyone is having. We can say that each and every person will be having something that we will be getting as a takeaway. So based on that, based on our perceptions and our attitudes, our values, we may be there selecting somebody as their role model. When we were in the school, for example, when I was in the school, I selected Swami Vivekananda as the role model.
Oh.
And he is still remaining as a role model for me. As Madam Shivani Madam has already told, that lead by example. That is the best example I can say, Swami Vivekananda. With just 39 years, he made wonders in the world. He created the people to remember. My grandfather, he died at the age of 95, but he's not a role model for me. He lived for a long period of time, 95 years. It is not the duration of the tenure of the lifespan that is there making a person as a role model. How a person has lived, it is not how long that the person has lived. How he lived, only that matters. In that case, I can say that in one of the books, I still remember the name of the book is The Leadership Challenge. In the Leadership Challenge, correct. The Leadership Challenge. And it is written by Jim Causes. What he says is, most of the children, they believe the parents as their role model. But what he says is, the teachers, the educators will be the best role models for the children because they are leading by examples. They are living by examples. When they are seeing, that we can say that we used to say that the teachers are the second parent for the children. In my point of view, I can say that the teachers are the first parent for the children because the children are there under our custody. If there is an offline classes, under our custody more than the time that they are spending with the parents. Right. So we will be the most influencing people, as Mr. Harshwardhan sir has already pointed out, that we, the teachers, will be the best role model for the students. And for me, Swami Vivekananda, if he's the role model, and if for Megha Madam, if Dr. Abir Fakir Jalaluddin Abdul Kalam is the role model, it is because they were leading as examples for others.
Absolutely.
That's what I
Absolutely right, sir. So thank you so much, Prakash sir. Next, we would love to hear Sushma ma'am.
Yeah, here my add-on to my eminent speaker is generally children, they look up the live examples from their surroundings. So being a teacher, we should able to help them with the form of exploring more and more in this field, like volunteering, school program clubs, workshops, or similar activities. For example, if a child is looking for to be the scientist as a role model, definitely the teacher here should help out that child, that they should attend various science fairs, interact with such kind of personalities, those who have science background, so that the child should develop the attitude towards the some innovations to be add on, or something to become or invent something. So here as a teacher, it means they are more believing into or adding into the live examples. Because
Yes.
who are not in their surroundings, they just listen to it and they just forget after. Means next day everything is new for them. So they look up to their sports teacher, how energetic sports teacher is, how their English teacher is dressed up, and how the accent of the English teacher is coming out. So this is my add-on. The children more like to be they look up on the live examples rather than the way we look into our own role models.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Sushma, basically, just surrounding them with positive people and giving them real life exposure, right? Okay, so now we can move to Rekha ma'am. So, ma'am, I would love to ask you. So, according to you, which is better to you as an educator, having a role model with both positive and negative impacts, or not having a role model? So, what would you like to tell us all?
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Megha,
Good afternoon.
for giving us such a wonderful platform
Thank you so
so
much.
that we educators, we can sit together and discuss in a very important topic, that is the selection of a role model. For the career, for achieving a goal, a child's role model matters a lot in their life. But it depends upon the child, which type of role model you are having. First of all, we should know what is a role model. Who can be a role model? For the children at their early stages, we know that their parents, they are the role model for a children. But gradually, as they grow up, they try to imitate their teachers. Their teachers are become their role models. Then coming to the stage of selecting a role model, I believe both. You can have a positive role model always. That is the better thing. So that we can, if you have a positive role model, you will become optimistic, hardworking, and committed towards your goal. If once you are committed towards your goal, you will achieve your right. But if we will think about the negative role models, who can be the negative role models? Normally, I could see that the celebrities, political leaders, I'm not talking about all of them. Some of them can be the negative role models to the children. And sometimes what happens, the children, they'll get diverted by the activities and they get impressed by some of the negative activities of these role models. So it is the duty of the parents and teachers to guide your child properly for the selection of the role model. So role model, of course, we should have a role model, but the selection of the role model is the first and the prior thing for a child. If I'll talk about me, from my starting ages, my teachers were my role models. But as soon as I grow up, as soon as I started entering into higher education, I try my level to improve my qualities. And by time, I keep on changing my role models. But at the same time, I must say that I really appreciate our former president, APJ Abdul Kalam, for his simplicity, his positive attitude, and his approach towards the students. So if your thoughts are positive, you can achieve your goal and you can become a successful person. That is all about this.
Absolutely
Megha.
right. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, ma'am. Next, Santosh sir, what is your take on this?
Good afternoon, Megha, and all dear fellow colleagues. What a great privilege it is this afternoon to share this very vital, topic for discussion in this current 21st century scenario. We are looking at role models, ROLE and ROLL. So, are we having role models or role models? I think this is a very pertinent point to discuss, Megha, and all of us here. I've heard all of us. I think we're all in the same wavelength. As educators, we feel strongly that children love looking at their parents first, and then, of course, their teachers. They are very impressionistic. They pick up very quickly from what they see around them. Their environment is the first stimulus to imitate someone, emulate someone. and they pick it up very quickly. For example, an LKG child would imitate the teacher at home and say, "This is what my teacher does." And the mother would say, "Ma'am, if you tell her, she will do, but if I tell, she won't do." So these are the basic things that happen at the LKG level. But when you, as children grow up, they definitely have, Megha, I'm thinking if you conduct a survey today and ask the children who are their role models, you will be surprised to know that they hardly have any role models today. Hardly any role models, because the world today around is very short of role models today. Unless we stand up for something, we are not going to be good role models as educators, as teachers, as administrators. So I feel a role model must be there for children, because the passion and the inspiration they get at looking at a person whom they want to follow, I think becomes the starting point, the trigger of their future. Now, for example, you take me, I was inspired by my grandmother, okay? My lovely grandmother. She was a teacher for 40 years. And I was inspired by her because of her discipline and her compassion and her love towards everybody. It wouldn't matter. Anybody would come into the house. Yes, come, sit down, have a cup of tea, chat, It was like that. I was wondering how she could manage with so many people around her. There was never a dull moment with her. In fact, she was the one who really brought me up. And if I'm what I am today, it's because of my grandmother, because she walked the talk. What she spoke, what she did, it was very evident in whatever she did. So I think a positive role modeling is a must for today for our children. There is a lot of things happening in the world today. The media is very strong.
Absolutely.
They are emulating celebrities and all the people who they are in their social media. And I think sometimes, as you said, there could be a negative, role model effect when they look up to somebody and that person falls in the society. You sometimes wonder what is the correct yardstick to follow for a person of that kind of a caliber or that kind of a status there in the society. So as teachers, as educators, I think we must. I put it in the school curriculum, I think. Life skills. How can we role model people, the right role models? Because if the foundation is strong, I don't think anything will go wrong, Megha.
Absolutely.
This is my first take. Thank you.
Absolutely right, sir. Thank you so much, Santosh sir. Next, Harshwardhan sir. So,
वन सेकंड मैं संतोष सर ने बहुत अच्छा बोला, इस चीज के एक्सप्लेन किया. मैं थोड़ा सा ऐड ऑन करना चाहूंगा. पहले के टाइम में आप लोगों को अच्छे से पता है कि जो रोल मॉडल होते थे वो हमारे फ्रीडम फाइटर्स होते थे. जब हम लोग स्टडी करते थे स्कूल्स के अंदर तो हमें पता होता था कि हमें भगत सिंह से प्रेरणा लेनी है, हमने जो है चंद्रशेखर आजाद से प्रेरणा लेनी है. लेकिन आज कहीं ना कहीं रोल मॉडल जो है वो चेंज हो गया है. आज हम लोग सिर्फ ये देखते हैं किसके पास पैसा है, किसके पास क्या है, उसी को हम लोग अपना रोल मॉडल मान के चलते हैं.
और सर एक और चीज, हर्षवर्धन सर, एक और चीज, आजकल हम रोल मॉडल उन लोग लाइक अनसंग जो हमारे हीरोज होते हैं हमारे, उन सबको हम रोल मॉडल आजकल बच्चे बोलते नहीं क्योंकि उनको पता नहीं है उनके बारे में. They are not aware about the history also.
मैं इसमें एक एग्जांपल देना चाहूंगा. अभी एक छोटा सा एक लड़का है जिसने एक गाना गाया, वो हर जगह पे बड़ा सोशल मीडिया के ऊपर बड़ा फेमस हो गया. बचपन का प्यार वाला उसने एक गाना गाया. और उस लड़के को सोशल मीडिया में जो उसको जो फेमस किया है, उसको बड़े बड़े मिनिस्टर्स आके मिल रहे हैं, वहां का सीएम आके मिल रहा है. आप लोगों के लिए, बाकी बच्चों के लिए क्या प्रेरणा दे रहे हैं? तो कहीं ना कहीं ये चीजें ध्यान में रखनी होंगी, हमारे बच्चे को हमें सिखानी होंगी. क्योंकि मैं गुरुकुल के एक माहौल में पला बढ़ा एक स्टूडेंट भी रहा हूं और हमने वहां से सीखा है. तो उसमें एक चीज कही जाती है, मातृमान पितृमान आचार्यवान पुरुषो वेद. यानी मातृमान जो है, माँ जो है उसका पहला गुरु है, माँ उसको सिखाएगी, पिता उसको दूसरे नंबर पे बताएंगे. समाज में आपने किसको अपना रोल मॉडल अपना बनाना है, कौन आपके लिए सही है, कौन आपके लिए गलत है. उसके बाद हम लोग आते हैं जो आज आपके सामने बैठे हैं और वो अपना बेस्ट करते हैं उन बच्चों को अच्छा कुछ सिखाने के लिए.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much, Harshwardhan sir. So, as like said by Oliver Goldsmith, people seldom improve when they have no other role model but themselves to copy. So, Harshwardhan sir, kindly share your views, valuable views on this. What do you feel about it? Yes, sir.
Harshwardhan ji, you're muted, sir. You're muted. Kindly unmute.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can you repeat again the question?
Yes, sure. I'll do it for you. I was saying कि people improve when they have no other role model but themselves to copy, खुद को ही. So आप इस पे क्या अपने views share करना चाहेंगे सर?
एक्चुअली मैम इसमें देखिए कोई भी अपने आप के लिए खुद को रोल मॉडल कर सकता है. अगर कोई एक घर में मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ. एक घर में जो है एक फादर जो है वो ड्रिंक करने वाला है और उसका एक बेटा है और वो उनको जो ठीक रास्ते पे लेके आने के लिए जो कोशिश कर रहा है और वो कम से कम इतना अपना एफर्ट लगा रहा है कि वो अपने परिवार को एक जो है ट्रैक पे लेके आए, उसको जो है स्मूथली अपने परिवार को का जो पालन पोषण है वो कर सके. तो वहां पर उस केस में कोई भी बच्चा अपने खुद के लिए एक रोल मॉडल हो सकता है, वो दूसरों के लिए रोल मॉडल हो सकता है. या फिर कहीं ना कहीं हम जब कहीं ये देखते हैं कि कुछ गलत हो रहा है या कुछ और चीजें ऐसी हैं जिनको चेंजेस करना चाहिए और कहीं ना कहीं एक बंदे से शुरुआत होगी तो हम बाकी लोग उसके साथ जुड़ते जाएंगे, तो वहां पर वो चीजें उसके साथ में चलेंगे.
Absolutely right. Thank you so much. And
I add to that.
Sure. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
बहुत ही खूबसूरत चीज बोले हैं अभी. मुझे बिल्कुल आई एम इन सिंक विद दैट. कुछ दिन पहले मैंने एक बच्चे से ऐसे ही पूछा था. आई जस्ट आस्क्ड हु इज योर रोल मॉडल. वी वर जस्ट डिस्कसिंग एक ऐसे मीटिंग में बच्चों के साथ. तो उनमें से एक बच्चा बोला कि दैट इज एन टेम्पलेट अप्रोच. Right, having role models is a template approach, and I hadn't quite thought about it ever. Template, एक template है, and you're just copy pasting. All right, that's a template approach, and it a lot depends upon the situation of a particular child as well, the surroundings and all. So if we have to change a particular child, or we have to bring about a change in the lives of certain.
Okay, I suppose Shivani ma'am is stuck. Okay, so yes, ma'am, are you there?
And some connectivity problem, I think, Mekha.
Yes, no worries. We'll just no worries. Ma'am will join. And
sir, Mekha, I would like to continue with Shivani ma'am.
Sure,
that we said that without a role model, we cannot achieve something in our life, or we cannot do something. But I am not totally agree with this fact, because you don't have a role model. And if you are committed towards that, I said earlier also, towards your work, and you have a hard willpower and a dedication, definitely without a role model, you can achieve your goal and you can be prove yourself as a good person in your life. That I feel. The same lesson we used to give students in the class also. So what we have to do, we should have a proper communication with others. Being an educator, we should have a proper communication with the parents, with the students, and we should know the psychology of the child. And we should have the right to call the child, and we should know. Means I used to tell my teachers, your smile and your words, that matters a lot for the child. If you enter inside the class with a smile and good words, and always if you try to encourage the child, definitely they will approach you, and your communication with the child, and you try to find out the merits and demerits inside the child and try to help him to develop in that merits or his qualities. In that way, without a role model also, a child can improve himself. The child should attend so many functions he can attend, and he can get, just like he can motivate the child to participate in athletics, in many competitions. And from there, the leadership quality, the child, he can get himself, and he can become a good leader. The same way, if you will force the child to have a reading as his habit, he can read the stories of so many leaders, so many freedom fighters, and their ideas, their best ideas, he can accept, and he can become. That is not considering one person as his role model. taking the good things from all the people and trying to improve our inner quality. That matters a lot, I feel, Mekha. Thank you.
Thank you, Rekha ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, so I would love to pose a question to all our lovely educators. So, who was to all the educators like sir and ma'am, who was your role model as a child, and how did he or she help you to become who you are today? And we can start with Sushma ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, Megha. Well, in my early age, my teacher, Miss Nanbai, who used to teach all the subjects, she was my role model. And I learned from her the own identity and the purpose of living. Gradually, then I moved on. Then I looked up to Miss Kiran Bedi. After that, more than Acharya Chanakya and G. Bala Subramaniam, as he is not required any kind of introduction, especially in the education fraternity.
Right.
In that way, and of course, to whom closely I worked as reporting to my principals, whom I learned what to do, what to ignore, and how to live your life. In that way, these are my multiple role models.
All right. Thank you so much, Sushma ma'am. Next, we would love to hear Prakash sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. It's a wonderful question that who was your role model? That is the question. Who is your role model is not the question, I hope. So
You can answer
role
both,
models,
sir.
you know, fine. The role models, you know, it changes day by day. For example, I already told you that when I was a school student, Swami Vivekananda was my role model.
Right.
But recently, when Olympics games happened, you know, Neeraj Chopra became my role model.
Oh.
So role modelship, you know, it is not a constant phenomenon. I think it changes when the days go by. So it will be changed. For today's role model for me, if I, for example, if I have strongly believed that this person is my role model, and after certain occasions, you know, I am coming to know some of the hidden things which I was there not aware of. Then what will happen? I will be changing my perception towards him. I'll be making somebody else as the role model. So it depends on the perception of the time being, what we have. But one thing as an educator, I can say, if you are becoming a problem solver for a student, not only the academic problems I am seeing, but even the personal problem. Suppose a student is there coming to me with a problem, whether it is personal or psychological or academic.
Right.
And if the child is there coming with the problem, and if I am finding out a solution for that problem, the child will be having a kind of feeling towards me. There is an emotional bondage which is there getting created.
Right.
That emotional bondage, if it is there getting created, we can say, we can remain as a role model for a long time. Most of the students, when they are studying in 6th standard or 7th standard, when we ask a question, they will be saying, you know, my role model is Dr. Abdul Kalam or Swami Vivekananda. Everything they will be there saying. But do they have the emotional bondage with them? No. They didn't get any chance to have an interaction with those people. Let us have the people who are there living examples with whom, you know, the students can create an emotional bondage. In that case, I can say parents to some extent will become a role model. There is one side I have to say. There are two sides of this role modelship. For example, if I am a parent and if my child wants me to become a role model, what I will do, you know, I will be changing a lot of characteristics which are there wrong. Right. So the transformation happens to the role model also. The role model will be transformed based on the aspirations of the person who is there making you as the role model.
Right. And so in this case, a role model would be the person to whom the child can look up to, can trust that person blindly.
Truly said, Megha, because a person who can solve the obstacles of the life. And that kind of person will be considered as the role model for me. And if another person comes, you know, then we will be there transferring our role modelship from one person to the other. Of course, many parents I have told, I know some parents, you know, who stopped the smoking habit only because their children, they didn't like it. So what the children like, the parents want to make themselves as the role models for their children. So the characteristic transformation happens to those parents. As an educator also, I can say, there are so many educators who were there beating the children, who stopped the beating. There are so many educators who were there having wrong habits, who stopped the habits because the student didn't make them as the role model. They want to get themselves transformed. Role modelship definitely for the children will be there, making a lot of changes. If you ask any class, who is your role model teacher, if you ask, and what we expect, the question is there having an expectation that the student will be telling my name. That kind of expectation we will be having. But if the child is not saying our name, that is the time that we have to have. We should have a self-introspection. Why the child was there not mentioning my name? Because I am not the role model for the entire children in the class. So that way, if you have you'll be getting a chance to rethink. Why can't I become a role model by changing myself? That is what I have to say.
Absolutely right. Thank you so much, Prakash sir. Next, we would love to hear Shivani ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. So, yes, I was saying, ma'am, who was your role model as a child, and how did he or she help you to become who you are today? Yes.
All right. In this, as I say, it is such a journey that Sir had also spoken about this, that, our role models are not constant. As we grow, our role models also change, right? So my role models also over a period of time have changed, and I have studied in a boarding school. And when you are in a boarding school and you are away from your parents, it is a different ball game altogether. So, you look up to your teachers. Any one of them becomes your role model, and then there was a teacher, Mrs. Lawrence, who was my role model at that time. And reading, in a hill station, there are so many things you do. You also knit. These days, children don't knit. So, reading English patterns and all, I learned from her. And then, as I grew, and, from my family side, we were very spiritual as well. So there were certain saints and all who came to our place very often. And, there was a saint who had come from Switzerland. He was, and he settled here. He had come at the age of 21 when he was a young man. And so when you talk about role models, it could be a person who is spiritual in nature. It could be a businessman. It could even be a, actor or whatever, wherever your inclination takes you. Whatever, the kind of personality you are developing each day. And that is those are the kind of people who actually then attract you. And you try to imbibe all the positive qualities from that. Right. Now, if you ask me in today's time, I would say my director, right, where I'm working, in the present place where I am, I'm taking care of 2 of his schools. And, just seeing him, that perseverance and that hard work, all right, where he has come from just a very small man, all right, and where he has come and how much he inspires everybody else. I think that's a great, great feat for him. One book I read just now, and I would like to suggest to all my teachers and all as well, Michelle Obama's Becoming. Yeah. So Michelle Obama, I think for every girl throughout the world, a very, very big inspiration. When you see the hard work, when you see the social change she's worked towards bringing, the family values, literally everything, when I see that. Then Sudha Murthy, when you see her in India, right? The kind of philanthropy, the kind of work she's doing. So these are all my role models as well. Very much so.
All right. Thank you so much, Shivani ma'am, for sharing. Next, we would love to hear Rekha ma'am.
Yeah, I am totally agree with Prakash sir and Shivani ma'am. As I said earlier also, as a child.
Yes, Rekha ma'am is stuck.
Someone was there to...
Yes, ma'am. Please continue.
Yeah. So at every life stage, there was someone which expresses some qualities that I inspired to. So what I believe that a person with positive thinking and who can control your thoughts and emotions, that type of person can be a role model. So as per my age, I told that my early teachers, then every stage of my life, people started changing my ideas, and I started becoming accepting them as my role models. Just like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the ma'am Shivani ma'am said, Sudha Murthy ma'am, I appreciate the simplicity among them, their hard work, their approach towards students, their approach towards their co-workers, everything attracted me a lot, and I consider these people as my role models. Thank you, Rekha.
Thank you, Rekha ma'am. Thank you so much. And next, we would love to hear Santosh sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, Megha. My role model, when I, like Shivani ma'am, I also was in a boarding school from my grade 4 to grade 10.
Oh, okay.
And my role model at school was one gentleman known as Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell was an English teacher and a geography teacher. What a great man he was. Perfect. His language, the way he dealt with the children, the way he spoke to us, the way he groomed us, so beautiful. You know, he was an Anglo-Indian gentleman, and we were in the boarding school, and when we would get the short break in September, we were boarders, and we would hardly a few of us would stay back in the boarding, and he would take us along with him for maybe for 4 to 5 days. He loved to go to the Mudumalai forest, to the Bandipur forest, and he would take us along, 4 or 5 boarders. He would carry his his double barrel gun, and we used to walk in the forest, and it was a very exciting moment for us because we were in 8th standard, 9th standard. And he used to tell us lovely stories, the jokes he would say. And I so greatly influenced by Mr. Mitchell. I think today why I became an English teacher is because of this man, Mr. Mitchell. Okay. So I think, as my fellow, colleagues here, Mr. Prakash, Mr. Harshwardhan, Shivani ma'am, Rekha ma'am, and the other lady here, all of us feel that we are very impressionistic when we are young. We imbibe, we look for people who we can connect with emotionally, as Prakash has said. Right. We want someone to listen to be heard. And when we are accepted and when we are wanted, we also feel, oh, yes, I can connect with this person, and we can, speak very openly with them. Right. Definitely in my school years, this particular teacher stood out. And as I told you earlier, once I left my school, my grandmother became my role model because she played a very big role in my life. And I think that's what I need to tell you, Megha. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you so much, Santosh sir. Thank you so much. Next, we would love to hear Harshwardhan sir.
एक्चुअली बाकी सारे जितने भी यहाँ शिक्षाविद बैठे हैं उन्होंने काफी सारी चीजें बता ही दी हैं कि भाई एक रोल मॉडल की क्या क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए, कि एक रोल मॉडल जो है वो किसी भी यंग पीपल के लिए उसको इंटीग्रिटी, ऑप्टिमिज्म, होप, डिटर्मिनेशन और कंपैशन के साथ उसको जिंदगी जीना सिखाए, वही एक रोल मॉडल होना चाहिए। और अगर मैं अपने रोल मॉडल की बात करूं तो बचपन से लेके आज तक के मेरे पिताजी मेरे रोल मॉडल रहे हैं, और उनके साथ एक ऐसी अटैचमेंट मेरी है कि जहां भी हम लोग सोचते हैं वहीं पर वो सबसे ज्यादा मुझे आगे मिलते हैं। उसके अलावा अगर मैं बात करूं, बचपन से जब एक नामकरण संस्कार होता है, जब किसी बच्चे को नाम दिया जाता है, तो मेरा नेम जो है स्वामी इंद्रवेश जी ने दिया था। वो एक काफी वेदों के विद्वान हैं और अभी तो चलो इस दुनिया में नहीं है। और जब भी मुझे याद आता है कि मेरा ये नेम हर्षवर्धन सिंह उन्होंने दिया है, तो मुझे वहीं से एक मोटिवेशन जो है मिलना स्टार्ट हो जाता है और वहीं से कुछ नया करने की हम लोग कोशिश करते हैं, चाहे वो स्टूडेंट्स के लिए है, चाहे वो जो है समाज के लिए है। तो मेरी लाइफ में 2 ही रोल मॉडल ऐसे रहे हैं जिन्होंने मुझे हमेशा जो है एक तरीके से हेल्प किया है और मेरे को मोटिवेट करते रहे।
All right, sir. Thank you so much, Harshwardhan sir. Thank you so much to all the lovely educators. And now the time has come. So, educators, can we start with that? As I mentioned, that never have I ever wala round, which I mentioned. Can we start with that?
Yes, of course.
So
Go ahead,
I
Viveka.
hope everyone is having like glass of water or a bottle.
Yes.
Water bottle we have.
No worries. A glass of water or water bottle can work.
We
Okay.
water
that's
bottle
great.
we have.
1 minute.
Shivani ma'am, what happened?
I'm not sitting in my office. I came down and I have to ask for water. 1 minute.
No worries. We'll wait for Shivani ma'am. Okay.
Shivani.
No worries, ma'am. And Santosh sir, Harshwardhan sir, Sushma ma'am, Rekha ma'am, and Prakash sir. आप सबके पास सर पानी की बॉटल और या फिर ग्लास ऑफ वाटर है, right?
हाँ है मेगा जी है, हमारा ग्लास भी इधर रेडी है.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Just need to wait only 1 second.
हाँ, no worries. हम शिवानी मैम का वेट करते
1
हैं.
second,
Then we'll start.
Okay.
हमने सोचा सर लाइक कुछ लाइक वेबिनार तो होता ही रहता है. हम सोचा कि कुछ डिफरेंट लाइट सेशन हो जाए. एजुकेटर्स के लाइफ में बहुत स्ट्रेस चल, लाइक बीइंग अ प्रिंसिपल, डायरेक्टर, फाउंडर, लाइक सबके जिंदगी में स्ट्रेस कुछ ना कुछ तो होता ही है, राइट? ओके.
Yes.
शिवानी मैम गॉट इट. ग्रेट. So we'll do one thing. We'll start. Just give me a second.
Just a minute.
Okay.
2 minutes. I can keep the water bottle with us, you know. That will also work.
Yes, yes. Water bottle
Yeah,
or a
yeah.
glass of water, basically कुछ भी पानी की
Yeah,
bottle.
yeah.
ठीक है. Can we start?
Okay.
Can we start, ma'am and sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please go ahead, Mega.
All right. So the first question is: never have I ever taught something without learning it. Never have I ever taught something without learning it. बिना कुछ, जैसे होता नहीं कि टीचर्स भी खुद लाइक नोट्स बनाते हैं, बिना कुछ किए टीचर क्लास में जाके लेक्चर दे दिया.
Never.
No. Okay. Then we can move to our next question. Never have I ever had a nightmare about a school or a student. Harshwardhan sir, pani. Okay, I can see Prakash sir and Harshwardhan sir. Okay. Sir, कैसा nightmare, like बच्चों का, स्कूल का, like? Okay. Next, हाँ जी सर, आप कुछ बोल रहे थे?
No, ma'am. Continue, please.
Okay. Next question is: never have I ever split a drink on the students' submitted work. No. Harshwardhan say no. Shivani ma'am is saying no, no, no. Okay. Next question is: never have I ever taken a nap in the school.
No, never. Never.
Okay. All right. So nap में स्टाफ रूम में भी like होते हैं like nap, like quick nap, नहीं कभी नहीं. Okay. Next question we have is: never have I ever had a favorite student but denied it publicly. ये तो होता है. राइट मैम, स्कूल में होता था लाइक वी नो ना, हमारे सब्जेक्ट टीचर्स के पर्टिकुलर स्टूडेंट हैं फेवरेट स्टूडेंट्स, बट जब मैम कुछ बोल रहे थे एड्रेस, नहीं नहीं मेरे लिए सारे बच्चे एक जैसे हैं.
Very common.
Right. Okay. Next question: never have I ever got late for a class on purpose.
On purpose.
So we never do. We never do.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have: never have I ever been robbed by a student.
Just being loved.
Just being loved. Okay. Next one is: never have I ever made a student cry. Like not purposefully, like purposefully, but हाँ like डांट दिया कभी ज्यादा बच्चा रोने लगा.
Emotionally, I think emotionally when you hit that, the emotional button that makes them
इस बात के लिए मैं पूरा गिलास पानी का पी सकता हूँ.
हर्षवर्धन सर, आप तो बड़े वो है लाइक मेरे को तो बड़े स्वीट से सर हैं, लाइक बिल्कुल भी नहीं डांटते होंगे. Okay. Next question is, never have I ever punished the whole class for mischief behavior. शरारत के लिए डांटना.
Yeah,
Whole class.
we do.
हाँ मैम स्कूल में जैसे होता था ना कि
It depends what kind of punishment you're giving, but yes.
Yes.
Don't allow games period or something.
हाँ मतलब बेस्ट पनिशमेंट फॉर द टीचर्स कि आपका गेम्स पीरियड हम ले लेंगे.
Cancel or stand on the bicycle.
Okay. Next is, never have I ever scolded a student and felt bad. Yes.
Always felt bad.
Always. Okay. Next is, never have I ever taken a class during proxy lectures, especially for a games period. ये तो होता है. Okay. So after this, we come to the end of this game, never have I ever. So yes, thank you so much to all the educators, to all the lovely educators for being with us, for giving us your time, and it was lovely interacting with all of you. So yes, thanks to all of you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Megha.
Thank you, Megha.
Thank you so much,
everybody.
sir. Thank you so much, all of you. Like it was seriously a great time interacting with all of you. Like seriously, thank you so much.
And we are very much appreciated your way of energetic Megha, interacting with energetic and Megha. Thank you, Megha.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
once
ma'am.
again.
Means a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you so much. And yes,
Thank you.
thank you. And yes to all the educators, and yes to all the lovely audience who have joined us for this wonderful session. So yes, thanks to all of you. So it was great interacting, and yes, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like hit on that bell icon and subscribe for such more interesting and knowledgeable sessions. So thank you so much, and once again, thank you so much to all the educators. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Megha.
very much.
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.